Evening.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Perfect. We can hear you, Benny, unless you can't hear us.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Is Fadz stuck in a 5-star hotel at least? I got no idea. 2 times, aren't you lucky?
I told them that he's stuck in prison. There's no Wi-Fi there.
They've been in lockdown. How is everybody handling the meds? We got new people here? Or much the same? Much the same. I can't tell you a hell of a lot about the gaming side of things. So you're going to have to save a lot of those questions. But have you all seen the updates? So just before we kick off with other stuff, did you see what's happening, Pete?
Which one? About?
Next week?
Next week?
About?
A lot of things that I know happening next week, I can't talk about it, Benny.
Oh, okay. I got clearance to talk about the one where we'll have the ability to. Yeah, there'll be some stuff coming up where we can have some challenges, right?
Okay. Yes. Can you talk about that one?
You can talk. Oh no, I won't say anything else then. I won't say anything.
Okay. Yeah, I say keep it for next week, I guess.
Okay. Is that a girl's truck?
Wait a minute, Pete. You can't do that. He said he got cleared. You're just going to deny us like that when he starts out saying he's cleared to say it? Come on. Don't be like that.
No. The thing is...
Actually, I said to Fadz, I can't remember which was cleared and which wasn't cleared because I've got this.
No, there's so many things, Benny. So when he okay, Hanford, I just want to clear something. There's so many things. So when Benny says, okay, he got cleared for something, I'm thinking in my head, okay, which one is he gonna say? And if he says the wrong one that we're not cleared to say, then we'll dipshit. So rather we'll just wait for the next week.
Well, the big boss man says he's cleared. Let him talk.
Let's just say, there's lots of stuff happening next week. It's not really my place to say, is it? But I get into trouble because I sometimes forget what's internal and external and all the rest of it. I just say what comes to my mind and try and say the truth. What's the worst that could happen? I probably spoil stuff. Let's just say let's just say this. I've said that I don't want to be given access to the game, and because I tested the last game a lot, obviously, and most of you guys smashed me. I got better after a while, and I said don't show me until it is really, really super ready to go. And I think we're getting very close to the point where I can start to get in there and actually play against you guys. So I'm looking forward to that. I did ask you before, got blocked. I did ask you before how it's compared to the other game, and some of you were talking about graphic differences and all the rest of it. But I think you've got to take into consideration that it looks like this new version is going to appeal to a much wider audience, right? And that's the important part. I think that a lot of the heat this week is. Is there anything? Have you guys got anything? I think a lot of people haven't actually tried to sit down and play it, but I think as long as the test for me, which is a selfish test, is can someone like my son play it? And if everyone can play it and a kid can work out how to play it, then I think it's most of our target demographic, right?
Yeah, if my 3-year-old can play it and then says, "Daddy, I beat you," then yeah, I think it's a good litmus test.
That's a good question. That's a good way to start off a Friday. When you play games against your kids, do you let the kids win for confidence building, or do you smash them for character building?
Smash.
Any game.
Smash.
What happens? Smash
anything. Them? Smash.
Some of you don't have kids. You're just answering because you think.
Always smash. I got friends who do that, who do the other one, because the thing is, like, my parents, let them win and all that, so that's enough.
Ramses, that assumes you can beat your kid. Well, if you can't beat your kids, then you do. Then you take the narrative that you were letting them win to build their confidence, don't you? That's how you
Correct,
do
exactly. That's what I do.
it. I've asked some of you this before, but a few more of you are playing now. I think that there's a whole lot more of you are going to be let in next week as well. So I think they're going to be ramping up the participation, which is good. Oh, Ziggy starting with the hard questions. I'm not going to avoid that question, Ziggy. I try not to avoid any of them. If you were one of the community members, what would your ratio of RFOX to VFOX be? Okay, well, I'm not allowed to give financial advice or anything like that, but all I'm going to say is this, because this is not financial advice. Work out what you think the land sale might do, and you know that the percentage, does anyone know the percentage? What percentage goes to VFOX holders? 15%, correct. So so that I'm not actually leading that conversation or leading people down a primrose path, what do you anticipate would be 15% of 100 buildings? Knowing what NFT land goes for, I think Ramses, you'd be probably one of the best qualified. It's putting you on the spot. You probably don't want to answer it, and it's not financial advice. But from what you see, knowing that you get a shop that's fully operational that you can earn an income through, what would you assume would be a fair lowest point of entry?
I calculated the minimum, thinking that everything will sell for 5,000. I mean that is the minimum.
Not only did FMH beat me, he actually took a screenshot so that he could rub it in my face. Here's one I prepared earlier. You get called a good bloke often, mate? Ramses is not going to answer that question. She's going to leave that alone with a 40. Go nowhere near that, eh? So the question, going back to your question, there you go. Look at that. Given dev costs and time, as well as assuming good popularity, then yeah, I'd imagine you're aiming for the number 2 spot on CryptoSlam. Yep, I would hope so.
Wow,
And then
that's a deep answer to your simple question, buddy.
Yeah, it is, and it's a very diplomatic answer as well, which is good. I think so. The answer to VFOX RFOX ratio, I have said it since day one because the team don't get any VFOX. It was all fair launch. I've said since day one that I would like to establish quite a nice stack of VFOX if I was in the community seat, based on the fact that I don't know what the strategy would be going longer term. Obviously, it's going to be pretty good, I would assume, but I would definitely have some. That's for sure. And I think if I was coming in brand new, coming in cold, I'd think VFOX is pretty tasty. Mall of America cost 11 to 15K a month to rent a hut to sell in the courtyard. Yeah, and that's the other thing, Benny. You've got to take into consideration that if you've got like a Mr. Show My stand in the Philippines, for example, that might cost 10 to 16 grand to buy a little Show My cart, that you have to sell a lot of stuff. You've now got an audience that's global. I think if you invested in a shop and you had rubbish to sell, you'd probably, you don't really have a lot to lose in that sense, providing you can actually flip the shop if you couldn't make a success of what it is that you were doing. Are the LP tokens stuck on weird ratio considering the price? Can it be looked into? When trying to trade 1 VFOX, it is 9.5 RFOX, but when changing 10 VFOX or more, it's only 7.5.
Oh, that's slippage.
Yeah.
That's how the formula is calculated. Because every VFOX that you buy, you will drop.
Yeah. You have to buy it in small chunks unless there's lots and lots of liquidity. Given the price of RFOX can be volatile, will bids on the land be in USD or RFOX? If it is in RFOX and you put in a bid on the first day, and that could be worth a lot more in USD by day 3. That's a great question, Rasha17. What we've actually said is that we would set the starting price at USD on the day. Now, don't forget, mate, that's the only time that it is relevant, because once the bids start rolling in, it doesn't matter anymore, does it? Because you've put in $5,000 worth of RFOX at the time of the start. If someone wants to beat you, they've got to put in a higher number of RFOX than you put in, regardless of whether it went up or down. The only thing that would be different is if RFOX started to go up, increasingly up, you would have to be putting in, so that person's 5,000, let's say it doubled overnight, for example, you'd have to put in more than 10,000 worth of RFOX to get it, right? Does that make sense? You're at 50-50 at the moment, Grelic? Yeah, I think it's tasty because there's not a lot of it, and that's going to get divided amongst the 21 million tokens. I actually think
most people who say they're 50-50 because they're holding LP tokens. That's why they're 50-50.
Yeah, probably. I think the thing is that it's a yeah, it's a really I think that the 21 million coming out, people don't really understand why the 21 million came out in such a short time frame. They were hoping that it would go on forever and ever, based on the way that others work. But we've already explained this to death, and the reason is we wanted to make sure that everyone has it in their hands by the time we start to pay out. The question that I did get a few times during the week, and hopefully the blog today answered that for you, was, will there be ongoing staking and rewards? And we've mentioned that in today's blog. So if you haven't read it, go read it. It'll explain. If you buy a shop, how will it be to rent? If you buy a shop, how easy will it be to rent? Okay, I don't know the answer to that. I would assume that it would be, I'm assuming, I have to make an assumption. So this is a caveat of just a wild guess. I would say that there would be more people per capita with the ability to pay the rent for a month than to buy. Now, even if the sale price was very low for whatever reason, the rental price would still be in the reach of people. One of the things that we'll bring out when we talk about the law is we do want to have rent control. Now, what I mean by rent control is what we do want to do is have a band so that people don't actually try and rip people off and charge $9 million a month or something like that, because it's just ridiculous. People will get wrecked. And it's one of the things we talk about a lot is it's a fine line between centralization and decentralization. And we want to be as hands-off as possible, what with the quartermasters and just a good structure. But on the same token, we don't want like a little mafia forming. It's got to be really, it's a really tricky balance, to be honest. And I don't think it's something to be ashamed about to say that we're still working through some of those laws to make sure that this works properly. And don't forget, there's a lot of eyeballs on what happens with this because no one's done something exactly like this before. So it'll be very interesting to see what dynamics work. Where will the land sale be? Okay, so the land sale will be on RFOX.finance.
No, that's not correct.
No, it's not.
A new URL, but
yeah, but okay, so we won't give the new URL then.
No, but we can say which chain it's going to be.
The one from today. Yes, we can say, we've said it in the blog today. Sorry, my apologies. Yes, that's correct. Where will the, okay, so what we do is we're using the ERC20. We've announced it in today's blog. It's the ERC20 RFOX. And you might say, what, how, why? Anyone want to have a guess as to why? On ETH, yep. I'm behind a bit. Hang on, let me catch up. 4-to-1 VFOX RFOX. Are the images of the shops from the blog today actual in-game images, or are they artist designs? That's what's being designed for the actual, I'll call it game, for the actual vault. So what we have said is that images will be subject to slight changes. They're still concepts, but ultimately that's been purpose-built for us. What we're trying to do is offer a number of templates The reason we want to offer templates for people to choose from is because we want to be able to streamline the ability for people to choose a template, implement it, and customize it. So it's important that we have a number of choices for people to choose from. So these are all being developed and worked on as we go. The bottom one was more of the one that looks like the honeycomb. That was, I think the things that the designers liked about that was actually the lights down the bottom on the floor that could act as a, what do you want to call it, Pete? A showcase light or something like that, as opposed to the honeycomb. So yes, we would expect them to be pretty similar to that in real life. Can a bid on the land be withdrawn, or is it locked in once it's made? That's a good question. I don't believe it will be able to be withdrawn. I will get confirmation on that, but again, that one's not solidified. So let's mark that one down as a two tackle, Pete.
Can a bid on a land be withdrawn? Oh, okay, the bid on the land. No, Rashid, no. Once a bid is done, it's done. Then you either win it or somebody outbids you. It's not fair for you to withdraw a bid. The moment you put bid, it's on a smart contract.
And the Genesis vault will be global, but are you thinking of region locking local vaults to only go surrounding countries or regions? Yeah, people are going to use VPNs and stuff, Crypto Joe, for sure and certain, but yes, they're supposed to be country based because we're combining both digital and in real life items. So very important to have both, to be locally focused. And depending on which country and how the laws prevail and all the rest of it, there could be reasons that people need to be controlling this as well. With traditional esports being played in the esport arena, yes. Yes, the answer to that is yes. The sale is on ETH, but the rewards are on BSC. That's the tricky one. Yeah, we'll come back to you on that one, Gralik. We've got some ideas on that. Urban Gecko, hey Benny, I'm the architect from your last meeting. Now you know my Discord name versus real name. Still waiting for that LinkedIn message response you promised. Did you like the new things today? I know you would have zoomed in 100x on and looked at it with a fine tooth comb. Big RFOX fan and RFOX VFOX staker. There was a photo off Google Images that was the same as your office. Can you comment? It's not our office, mate. It's a stock image. Just like 99% of the photos on the internet and the website, it's a stock image of an office. Doesn't say that it's our office. Just like the telephone was a stock image. The movie theater was a stock image. It's stock images, mate. We're trying to find colours that match our brand colours. Everybody's seen our office because we've done tons of live videos from there. We've done walkthroughs. We've done filming in different rooms. We've done interviews in the theatre room. Tons. Don't listen to Gecko, he's a spy. Really. Can you have a VR headset? Really? Just come right out with it. Tell us what you really want. We'll be doing in today's blog, same as last week. So what you need to do is just join the newsletter, subscribe, and we'll be posting the details of how you can win a VR headset and a early walkthrough very soon. There is a special way that you will register for that, and that's something that I won't spoil, huh, Pete?
Yeah.
Wait.
Keep it a secret. Yeah.
Okay. What genre will the second RFOX game be? I'll have to let Fadz deal with that one. I don't want to spoil stuff. For me, the templates are too creative artist, but that's a personal opinion. Yeah, don't forget though, it's the art district and the templates will be configurable colors and you'll be able to change a certain amount of stuff on them. How do you think the RFOX price action will react as we come closer to the land sales and while the land sales take place? No idea, Dogma. No idea. Have no ability to answer that question whatsoever. I bet the game moves the RFOX price before the land sale does. Hanford, I would say you're 100% correct. And the reason I know that it is likely is because it's different crowds, right? Different crowds completely. And we've already got a number of the people, including we've got a couple of new staff in the Philippines as well, and they've been talking about the fact that everybody in the Philippines is looking for the next Axie Infinity, and that there's a lot of optimism that us having a free-to-play entry could get around some of the scholarship stuff, and that it could be received well. So, yep. If
It's
someone
just
is
always a little frustrating when people come in here and only want to talk about the vault and that kind of stuff, as though that's the only thing that reflects against the price of RFOX. It's like, don't you know what else is going on? Haven't you done your own research to know what else can move the price before that? It's like they all want to freak out over it. It's like,
yeah,
pay
a
attention,
lot
do
of
your own research.
yeah, no, that's a fair comment. A lot of people don't, and I'm just glad, mate, to be honest, that we we are communicative. We do try and make sure that we're transparent. We do come to a lot of these meetings and we do answer questions. So hopefully, like you say, hopefully people that do come in and think that's the only thing, hopefully you guys help to educate in the sense that they see the content or the information that you guys are talking about. And my hope is that we get that exposure. Sorry, who just asked that? Who just made that statement?
Me, Hanford.
Oh, Hanford. Yeah, Hanford. Hey, Hanford, I'll ask you that question. What is your opinion? And it's not being judged or advice or anything like that. What do you think will happen once we do get the stuff like the Vault and games and all the rest of it running? Do you think we're going to still see like a one blended, melded community, or do you think you're going to see real people that are like gung-ho in the different things?
I think it's going to be very multifaceted. A lot of these things are very consuming for a person's time, and you can only keep up with so much. There'll be people who keep up with many facets because they're just that enthusiastic, that involved, and they have the ability to. But a lot of people are going to have to pick and choose. It's like what a lot of us deal with right now, trying to, looking at cryptos and everything else. I think the games are going to move a lot quicker than the vault will, but in the long run, the vault is going to be a lot bigger.
Yeah.
But because of the momentum of things like Axies right now and the attention that NFTs and cryptos have gained over the past year, with your free entry model compared to everything else, because like a bunch of us just got onto that crypto blades over the past month and had to pay anywhere from $60 to $700 to onboard. And it's like there are a lot of people left behind finding out about it today, and it's like $93 a piece. It's hard to jump on board. But when you can jump on board with something free off the bat, that's going to spread like wildfire in those communities and amongst those people. The Philippines exceedingly and abundantly. And hopefully it trickles out more. And that's why I think the game is going to explode a lot quicker than the vault will. I'm more bullish on the vault long run just because shopping is a higher revenue stream than video games are worldwide. So there's a larger market to capture. And if you cater to the right markets, it'll explode. That's why I'm bullish on it all. But I think in the short run, it's going to be more about the game. And then once we start seeing things like the streaming app and the TV and the media and all the other stuff get integrated, then it'll allow people to explore more and find out what's out there that they don't know about. And it's like, oh, this exists in the world. Like a lot of people have no idea about the streaming apps and what they do over in Asia. Most Americans have no clue, and I try to explain. It's like, do you know what it'd be like if Kate Upton came out and said, I'm creating my own YouTube channel and every night I'm going to be showcasing different dresses, clothes, and lingerie? Do you know how many people she'd have? Half of them would be guys watching every night, she would, I try to give them a perspective like that. And it's like, well, take a famous Chinese person that's just as famous over there as Kate Upton is over here and put her in the same scenario. It's like personalized QVC. And my grandma was a QVC queen, so I know what that's all about. And it's like a personalized one-on-one version of it, or at least more personalized than being the lucky person to get to call through, So.
For 2 words. Miss Philippines.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's another thing that I didn't even touch on of your multifacetedness. I mean, once those things start integrating and people get a better clue of the true big picture, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for
You
sure,
know?
mate. 100%. No, for sure. Oh, I'm a bit behind. Sorry, Madame. Further to Crypto J's comment. So, if someone in Australia wants to go to the Philippines vault, will they be able to visit and purchase items? That depends on whether it's like digital or locally based. So, some of these countries require, depending, some of these countries require will require local registration. So that's up to them to sort out. To be honest with you. Crypto Eddie, thanks for clarifying, mate. No problems, mate. We have had a lot of stupid questions in the last couple of days. Not that that's a stupid one, but I'm saying had a lot of very weird questions since all this turmoil blew up. So apologies if I ever snap a little bit. When walk through the vote, how did you go? Haven't had a chance yet, mate. We will let you know as soon as we do. You'll know when we've gone through because I'll end up peeing all over the place. At what point will you start revealing the resource tools and possible space devs like me, an architect who will want to be able to design spaces and digital assets for clients, help fit out their spaces? Yeah, so the idea is to make sure that you've got enough leeway, obviously, Urban Gecko, to be able to really have a good play around. Another advantage to going quarter by quarter is it gives us the ability to be able to sort of get around to people as well, because if 100 people at the same time all need help and assistance, then it could get quite hairy. But the idea is to onboard a few people that have the skills to be able to help these people as well. So if it's alterations outside of what is templated or comes as standard, that we have several options for these people to be able to build. And I mean, if you've got skills in Unity and all the rest of it, and the design tools, you should be able to do a lot of it yourself. First dibs exploring the vault sneak peek. There's stuff to come on that, CCRY. See a lot of people asking for the KOGs token. They don't really know the RFOX token is linked to it. Here, I think more education is needed. Yep, that's coming, Gralek. 100% you're correct about that. Yeah, I had a lot of people.
Technically speaking, like KOGs are tokens. They are non-fungible tokens.
Yeah, no, but there are people. I saw it today. Someone messaged me today and said, so you've got three tokens in your ecosystem. It was one of these rabbits that are having a laugh with all this rubbish going around, and they came and said, you got 3 tokens, hey? Where do I buy this KOGs token? You know what? I went onto CoinMarketCap and all the rest of it, and I can't even see it. Ha ha, must be a shit coin. I was thinking to myself,
Benny, there are 3 tokens. We got RFOX, VFOX, and 2 ECT.
Yeah, but I was talking about where's the KOGs token.
Yeah, I mean, there are dumbasses. The dumbasses around this past couple of weeks. This whole week.
We couldn't get the KOGs token listed on CoinGecko, and I was like, all right, mate, I'll just keep filling out application forms. I'll let you know how I go. You guys suck. We'll be spacing the sales over. Does this mean the first 3 quarters until the final one is sold, or is it unofficial launch for each quarter? Okay, we'll be explaining that, Bertacan. What we're trying to do is, as you can see, we're trying to space out the release of information week on week, so that you've got something to look forward to and to learn. But we are going to have to start ramping up because there's a lot of LORE and LAW, and there's also lots more we have to show you. So Ziggy, also we've mentioned on the bottom, like I've told you, we want to go with the first announcement now. We want to go, but I've been pretty clear on that. We're just waiting for the media side of things to be set up so that there's not just there's got to be a call to action, as you know. So there's got to be a place that they can go to when they hear about it, and that's the part that's getting set up now.
Yeah, Ziggy, just to also clarify, there is no Genesis quarter. The first quarter is Calanova. Genesis is the name of the vault, the first vault.
Is there any further information on how VFOX rewards will be paid out or claimed? I know previously you mentioned it would not be airdropped for tax reasons. Will we be able to specify the wallet it is dropped to? Yes, we'll go over all of that, mate, but technically speaking, there's really only, and I've mentioned this before, but there's really only two ways that you can do it. There's legally speaking, there is a subscription-based model where you pay a small fee to subscribe to, or there is a model where you effectively, for all intent and purpose, you stake to earn your reward, meaning you lock away your token, and as a result of locking away your token, you are acknowledged or recognized and therefore paid. What that would mean, though, is that you would have to have undergone whatever process is implemented prior to that payment. People will be not telling other people what the process is, because ultimately it would be divided by all of the people that have tried to claim. So if 6 million of 21 million tried to claim, they'd get a larger piece of the pie, wouldn't they? But you're right, we can't just, and a lot of people don't understand that, you can't just airdrop it on people. Cannot do that. Hello, Benny. Sorry if I've missed this, but interested to know if the next gen streaming platform will be ready in time for the Miss Philippines. So, Hashed, I let it slip earlier in the call, but I've talked about it the last few times anyways. We've started recruiting specifically on the ground now in the Philippines. So the Philippines is obviously a massive target for both Miss U, for the Vault, because it'll be one of the first countries we roll out in at a local level, and then also for media. So if we're hiring people, then you know things aren't far away, are they? So the answer is that everything has to be ready in time for the Vault. So very soon, mate. I'm not allowed to give away too much, and I'm not allowed to talk about too much because I've said this before, hand on heart, what I don't want to do is overpromise and underdeliver. I want to underpromise and overdeliver. We've learnt the hard way over the last couple of years that when you're relying on third parties, you can't promise on their behalf. But more importantly, now that we're building multiple things at the same time for a big group delivery, we've got more third parties involved and there's more moving pieces. So I have to be very careful not to overpromise things. I would like things to go a lot faster. We all would. But that's why we're trying to give weekly updates. Like a few people have said it, weekly updates. But if we show weekly updates for the previous week, it shows what we've achieved, as opposed to going out and saying, next week we're going to give you $25 million and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. You're better off to say, last week, this is the stuff we got accomplished. And crypto people don't like that very much. But if this was like in a legacy industry or traditional industry, people would be absolutely stoked with the fact that you've got a report every week that tells you where you've been up to and what you've done. Very, very. Trying to get my bearings on the Vault in space image. Is the statue with the blue light beam right in the center? And okay, so generally speaking, they're not really in the center. They're kind of like to the, how do you describe that, Pete? When you've got a shape like the quarters, they're kind of on the toward an edge.
The beam is right in the center of the space station.
Yeah, but the statues and the monuments, the statues
on the quarters.
Yeah,
they could be on the quarters. Yeah. So you're seeing that. Imagine a photographer taking a picture of the statue, but the beam is behind it. It's the main space station, which is further away. But it looks big because it's huge, right?
Yeah. And the thing is that it's quite a it's interesting because it shows that.
Face, take a look at last week's blog and you could see the whole space station. So the center of the space station, that's where the beam is coming out. And think of the statue as one of the satellites, the cities, Kalinova. So imagine if you're on the city, which is attached to the center, and the beam is in the center. So you can try to gauge the scale of the beam size.
What's Pete's role in RFOX besides playing the RFOX anthem? So why don't you tell him, Pete, or have you already done that?
I'm the bongo player.
I don't think that's quite the truth, mate.
Yeah, I'm the CTO, Dougie.
Yep. Anything to add on generative AI? No, XP, you sly dog. Not at this particular point. I have nothing to declare, nothing that I want to talk about. I heard a lot of rumours about a princess token coming out backed by Princess KOGs. Any truth to that rumour? Same
Every
lady.
freaking day, this princess. Every freaking day.
Same lady asking the same question all the time. Hold up 225. I don't want Benny to stop yet. Okay. I'm behind, mate. Is there a VR designer or team we can learn more about? Any of the COGS designers involved with the VR design? No. So the COGS designers are not involved in the VR design. COG designers, gosh, how many COG designers, if we sat down and lined them up end to end, Pete, how many COGS designers have there been in total so far, do you think, roughly, ballpark?
40, I think. 40, maybe.
Yeah, that's about accurate.
40? Yeah, 40.
Yeah, I'd
So
say about 40.
Yep. So the VR, is there a VR designer or team we can learn more about? Well, actually, I don't want to steal anybody's thunder.
No,
Okay, I'm not going to say anything.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, the answer is yes. You will be hearing a lot. And well, can I say one little hint, mate? Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
You probably already
Go
know
for it. Go for it.
You would probably already know the people. Everybody knows the people. All right, next. That's all I'm saying. Can't twist my arm any further. I've said too much. I'm going to get muzzled. I suppose the reason for more questions around the land sale is because it's been focused on as a milestone for RFOX Labs and it's going to bring everything together. I know there is so much more to RFOX, but both blogs are about the metaverse. Who is to say that people haven't already chosen a path and might not be interested in COGs? I can't wait to see the metaverse. Dogma, I think you'll see that those two marry up very well. I hate saying this, but they go together like chocolate and orange, which I think is the worst freaking combination on earth. What the huge future holds for finance arm holds after the initial farm finishes. Yeah, so Libra, we've talked about the fact that we always start out with the end in mind and we always have an idea of what we want for the ventures. We've always said since day one that we wanted to build a Ping-An or Ping-An type of venture. I thoroughly recommend that you go away and have a look at that. It's spelt Ping-An. So that's the type of, it'll give you a little bit of an idea of where we can or what we can do. Now, obviously, you've got to mold and change that for a decentralized world, but think about this, people coming into the space for the first time, into RFOX, wanting to onboard, wanting to change, wanting to swap, wanting to buy, wanting to loan. Don't forget, if we're doing a whole lot of stuff with farming and staking, we can also do a whole lot of stuff with collateral. We've already talked about a lot of the possibilities for the game and for the ways that we can integrate this stuff together. So I would say go and have a look at Ping-An, and I'm sure that by the time next week rolls around, you've got 100 questions. COGS tubes will have a big role in the vault. Again, I won't steal the games guys' thunders, but there's a few things for tubes. Outside of the Tube Hotel that we were talking about the other day, I was laughing about that for hours, and then one of you degens went onto Twitter and tweeted something about it, and I lost it. I was absolutely lost it. What do they say? Was it you get banished to outer space or something? You get shot off in your tube. When we will have the NFT platform, will we move COGS out of Wax, or we have two options, RFOX and on Wax? Pete, you want to technically answer that so I don't butcher it?
Nope, you'll be on Wax. COGS will still be on Wax. And there's no RFOX or on Wax. There's no RFOX chain. We're not building a chain. We're just building an NFT platform that runs on top of our existing chains.
If you drew lines from the corners of the hexagon, you can see the statue with the light coming out is centered in the aerial view. Yeah, so Urban Gecko, there's a few little bits and pieces that will come together and we'll show you as the weeks unfold. But each of the quarters have also different buildings or arenas as well, and they're slightly differently located in each of those. Expert COGs are made purely with fan art. According to internet experts, COGs are made purely with fan art. Who are these internet experts that you seek advice from, Winnie Benny?
I need the same numbnuts that are going all over the place.
Yes. That is completely incorrect, mate. Those internet experts are a fail. It is not
So
fan
Winnie Benny, yeah, I want to clarify that all KOGs are commissioned by us to the artists.
There
They're
is no
commissioned
fan,
art. There is no fan art.
art. 40 COGs design as well. Yeah, that Hero Gamer, that's from beginning to now. So yes, a lot. Has multiplayer beta started already? So multiplayer, yes. How many COGs will you win each time I destroy someone in Slam? Well, that depends on you, mate. The aerial render and the close-up of the quarter are not the same. The aerial is an older version as the larger urban squares looked too small, and the updated quarter shows updated hard landscape to create moving and accumulation spaces between shops and the central dome, which in the more detailed close-up shots you can see a secondary triangulated structure under the primary one, which will create dynamic. The aerial is outdated from what I can see, correct? But the thing is that you'll also see something very clever from an artistic perspective that I think you'll like, Urban Gecko, because we use an interesting we have an interesting use of space for the shops that I think you'll be very impressed with architecturally, because it makes perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Slow down,
Okay.
Benny.
Okay, nothing. Okay,
I think
so-
that's for a blog
Okay.
topic.
I didn't say it. You only think it sounds like a lot because you know, but that's not going to be enough. That's
Fair
just
enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
It's a tickle, mate. It's a little tickle. Will tokens RFOX and VFOX, even when locked in farms or pools, be eligible for rewards after the land sales? So what you'll see is that we'll explain that very, very clearly, but all of the tokens will be in people's hands, so we'll make it a very clear, distinct path to the reward. We'll make sure of that. Okie dokie. I heard you were possibly going for a Jeweled Earth Royal, Benny. Is that confirmed? I think I'm nearly there. I've got the Jeweled Earth from the first edition and Jeweled Earth from the second edition, and I think I'm only 2 away from the third edition. I've got the standard set, but I want the Royal. I want to be able to. I don't know what 3 sets is called. What's 3 sets called, Peter? We got a name for it?
Kalinova.
A Kalinova set.
A super Kalinova set.
I should get a Super Kalinova cog. If you've collected 3 same borders across 3 sets, right, editions, you deserve some sort of special collector's button or cog.
No, you don't.
Oh, come on, give it to me. You know how many hours that's taken me? I have a suspicion of what you're doing. It's very inceptive. It is very inceptive. Your suspicion may or may not be correct, though. We'll wait and see. No, you don't. Yeah, EMAS. Okay, EMAS, while we're waiting for people to type in their very, very inquisitive questions, what would you say? Would you hazard a guess that the clue that I gave, well, let's everybody give us your answer. Is the clue that I gave too easy to work out what I was talking about? Let's see what people write. I reckon people are going to write, yes, it was too easy. It went over my head. I have to ask around. Good on you. At least you're honest. Think I've missed the clue. See? There you go, Pete.
Fishing, Benny. They're fishing for more information.
Well, they're not all smart enough to fish at the same time. When do you think the upright...
It's a coordinated fishing attack.
It's a coordinated fishing attack. Okay, when do you think RFOX token will not be price connected with BTC or the rest of the market? As soon as people start using it a lot, and I think that is like the game's got the best chance for that to happen the soonest. And if you think, what the hell are you talking about? Of course, that's not going to make a difference. Have a look at what SLP and Axie's done. Was like they came back online and the market moved. Will shop owners need professional computer expert to set up products for sale, or will this already be in-shop template or in a simple online cart? So George74, that's what we're working so hard on. I mean, how many hours a day are we in those damn meetings? We're working with a pretty... What? Not allowed to say that?
Hours.
Oh,
No, you're allowed to say that. Yeah, too many
many
hours, yeah.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I didn't say many, I said too many hours, but yeah.
Okay. we're spending a lot of time, George74, because of the fact that we are about to roll out the NFT white label platform, and that NFT white label platform is imperative for setup for the shops. I know a lot of people, the penny hasn't dropped yet, and they haven't worked out how all this stuff comes together, but if you haven't, please take the time to work it out, because we're busting our ass to make sure that the ventures are finished, because they have to plug in, and we need it to be that you're using our NFT white label to spin up your assets or your display. It's very, very important that you're using our product so that it's all there. It's easy for everybody. Very, very good. The Shopify of metaverses. Actually, the NFT platform we've said is the Shopify of NFT platforms, but effectively what the NFT platform does is allows you to choose which chain you want to spin up on, create your assets, and then create your page, your site, and then create your market for buying, selling, trading. So it's everything in the one place. And then where our offering is unique, because a lot of people, I don't know why, but a lot of people are saying, oh, you're building a marketplace and there's already so many marketplaces that exist, and it's, what are you doing? That's not what we're doing. We're building the platform that allows you to spin up and create your NFT collection, so that we don't have to handhold all of the big clients, because there's a massive hole in the market. Everybody comes in and says, I want to do a collection, and only the big ones are getting fed and serviced at the moment, because there's only so many blockchain companies that can really help them. And they want their own page. They don't want to be on something like OpenSea where you can't bloody scroll through and work out where the collections are or find anything on the damn page, and you're stuck in the rat race. What they want is their own page, branded with their stuff, spin up their NFTs, put them on their marketplace, but not lose out on the ability to be able to have the shared liquidity of something like an OpenSea. So we've worked on Wax, and we've worked on Ethereum for a particular reason, and then we are working on how to integrate, or how to make it so that we can have lots more blockchains in the very near future. I hope, Hero Gamer, you said 2051. What does that even mean? I hope I explained that for you. And how it would work in relation to the vault is someone would come in and say, hello, I've bought this shop. I'm going to use this internal template. I'm going to use, now I want to spin up my collection. What we don't want is those people rummaging the earth trying to find, hey, where do I go to make NFTs, and how do I get a marketplace, and how do I get a site, and all the rest of it. We want to say, here's your shop, here's your in the metaverse, here's the tools you need to create, to spin up your site and your marketplace, and away you go. We've been building this for quite some period of time. It's had some trials and tribulations, but we're getting closer now. Hi, Ben. Regarding the investors community path, when and how do you verify if we have sufficient reach towards substantial investors, or are the slots already reserved? How can you see the traction? You're talking about the metaverse, obviously. It's an auction, so we don't reserve anything. Nothing's reserved. What we do have, when I say nothing's reserved, 3 stores, shops in every quarter are reserved, are held, are owls, are foxes. We're not allowed to sell them. We can rent them, we can give them to partners, and we can use them to showcase our ventures, but that's it. 2 of them are marquee stores that we give to marquee brands that could bring tons of, someone's on mute. The marquee stores are for people that can bring in lots of attention and traffic and premium brands. And then 25 shops are free reign and will be subject to an auction. Will we have to use SideQuest or App Lab to access the vault in VR? I will have to come back to you.
Still to be determined, Dougie.
Oh,
Still
okay.
to be determined. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to answer questions I don't have any understanding of. NFT white label platform. Oh, you can call it whatever you like, Hero Gamer. I call it a box. I keep calling it an NFT box. For simple people like me, I see it as a Shopify event for NFTs. That's the simplest way to explain it. I go in, create my store, create my assets, load them up for sale, away I go, and then I can plug into the liquidity of Atomic Hub or OpenSea or whatever else. Produced by one company, the other company's rebrand to make it appear as if they'd made it. Yes, correct. Will, we're on a journey, you pervert. You probably do. You just didn't realize it. You get a marketplace. You get a marketplace. Everyone gets their own marketplace. Well, think about it, Will. That's a big hole in the market, isn't it? There's a lot of people that want to go to market that don't know how and can't. And also, we want all of the shops to use it, but on the same token, we also don't want to have to be hand-holding a lot of these big brands that come in and say, what's an NFT? How does it work? I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me design it? Can you help me set it up? Can you help me create the NFTs? Can you help me put it onto a marketplace? Can you help me? And the answer to that is no way. We don't have the time, capacity, or effort, but what we can do is point you to this nifty little tool and you can do it yourself. And then we make money when you use that. So that's pretty cool. Given all sales will go through RFOX, this will keep buying off RFOX token higher, but when it's resolved, it will be sold back to fiat again. Is there any plan for something like a burning to increase token value? We're already burning at the moment, but we've got a couple of mechanisms that we can employ. Yes, more to come. NFT marketplace credit cards can be used too, so people don't need to know how to buy Wax or Ethereum, etc. We're looking at numbers of different options. We're already doing a wallet integration system that starts with ETH and Wax and then goes to BSC and the rest as well. Will there be any collaboration with any music groups relating to K-pop? We actually did speak to probably the biggest one, but the issue that we had with them, although they were entertained and interested, was they already have very strict rules over the fact that they are only able to really, they can't do many things more with a gaming company. They've already got, affiliations with a gaming company, and the issue is that that gaming company that we're classed as a gaming company, even though we're metaverse, so that caused a bit of a problem. Kalanova district shop owners get an NFT. Can you talk about it? They get an NFT that allows you access to standard events for 3 years. So it'll give you access to standard events for 3 years. Pretty much.
What do you consider a standard event? That's what I was trying to get at. Like, what's the
like
levels?
if it's like yeah, so we're still defining that, but effectively we're the ones that set the parameters and the rules. But what we envisage it'll be the bigger ticket, like the concerts and esports events and all the rest of it, so that it's got larger audiences. Whereas some people will come in and want to do a very, very small select 10-person, Rod Stewart live to 10 people or whatever. We can't give 25 shops a free ticket to that. It's something that's been set up as a premium or private event. So we're talking about all of the ones that have mass tickets for Why Did the Cogs Cross the Road? Sorry, ladies and gents, I'm out. Got to go. Look forward. Yep, we're just about to finish up, so I'm just trying to make sure there's any other questions. Can you trade or sell the Mega Moon NFT? Yes, you'll be able to trade it and sell it. Third Windows rewards next week. Oh, I'm not allowed to talk about that stuff.
Oh, we can, Benny. That one we can.
We can talk about that one.
No. Staking
So-
rewards for third ends. I mean, the staking window ends on the 30th of July, so we'll be paying out after that. Please get your Ethereum addresses added to the linkage if you have not.
Yes. How many stores are going on auction? 25 for the first quarter. What endorsements will the COGS champion receive? Will the champion be your mascot? Oh man, there's so much cool stuff that we can do. What ventures excites you the most? Personally, I'm looking forward to seeing how the next gen streaming will empower. I think that one's definitely still probably got the most potential for an individual standalone project as far as revenue is concerned, for sure. But for me, honestly, Hashed, I'm looking forward to when we do the Statista.com, which we haven't really talked much about because it'll come later. I'm really interested in that, because that's going to be data collection for all of the stuff that we're actually doing. So that's going to be a big one as far as I'm concerned. But at the moment, I'm really looking forward to the fact that when I eventually sort of become chairman or whatever, I want to spend a fair bit of time. I've already decided I want to spend making. As some people know, I'm obsessed with time travel, and that's never going to happen in my life as far as I know. And obviously, the fact is, if we can actually design stuff using the virtual world and using this type of the type of technology to be able to recreate scenes from history, I can use it as an education tool for kids, and also as well as being able to walk around with a VR headset and feel like I'm in another time, and have stats and data and facts and on plagues and viruses and migration and colonization and all the rest of it. And I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, just probably Hero Gamer, probably the Statista.com. I think most people that have been around a while understand that that's one that's been on our radar for a while.
Yeah,
okay.
I can't wait to design that.
I think it's going to be
design that.
Yeah, I can't wait to sit in there and just be able to get data on anything that I want to learn about or know about. I think that's going to be fantastic.
With Elon Musk developing that brain, was it Musk or Bezos developing the brain chip
Musk.
where you plug in? Yeah, Musk. What if we RFOX taps into that and we can just plug right into the vault right there in our head? Yeah,
for sure, man, for sure. There's a lot of stuff that can be done, and I think if you're building the suite of products and tools that we're building, I think there's going to be an opportunity to be able to cross over into a lot of cool stuff, and a lot of people are doing some great work on developing stuff that we'll be able to plug into and utilize. So, yep. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. I will see you next week. Be safe, trade safe, and see you soon.